Hello and welcome. Today we have a 2003 S600 V12 Mercedes biturbo CO3, so first year of it. Very cold day here in Texas. Sorry about the mess. The car's a little dirty. It's salt on the road here. I'm not used to that, so you know. But this was a $220,000 today's money car, and I got it for $8,000. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with the interior. I've already kind of showed the exterior a little bit. Different spot this time. So I had an S430 before this, and I was going to review that, but it got T-boned by Buick, so that's why I'm now in a much nicer car. If you have had a 220, you know that this is much nicer than your normal, 430, 500, 320, 350. The wood trim is a lot nicer. You have stitching, parking sensors, there's wood everywhere. And yeah, push to start, Distronic, which still works somehow. And also I have the chip cards, which I'll show you in a second. So we'll go and get into it. This will be kind of a short review of 220. I only have 15% right now, so let's go and get into it. Here is your main Mercedes key, and here are your chip cards that go right here. Well, the couple that goes right there, but these are your chip cards. They're kind of like activity keys for Jaguar. Batteries are bad in both of them, unfortunately. So we have the key, I guess. As you can see, I've been getting 19.7 mpg. Sorry about the jazz. Start over here, you have heated, cooled seats, memory settings. Obviously your seat controls. These fold the mirrors in. I won't do that right now. Headlight washers. Here are your parking light, or your headlights, parking lights, all that stuff. Parking brake releases right here. This say you filter through your messages. This is for going up and down. Please wait, I don't have the phone connected. I do have it though. It's in here. This is for your volume controls. So you turn it up, turn it down, phone. Of course, it's been 15 years since that thing probably worked, but Here's your radio. You have telephone, navigation, AM, FM, CD, Seek. This is your phone control over here, as well as your memory settings. The map still works. It's kind of confusing and kind of cumbersome, but it still works. I actually used it today because I was in a no service area. Here your AC controls, very easy to figure out. This is if you want auto, and that is if you are doing auto on both sides. You have a ashtray right here, as well as your little cigarette lighter. Here's your Distronic controls. That's for if I'm beeping it too close. Here's linguistic, so radio up.
Possible commands are seat,
Cancel.
next station, frequency 87.9 to 107.9,
Cancel.
door station, select station,
It's not going to cancel.
delete station, station list, delete station list, cancel.
There we go. Okay, so here's your sunshade. Still works in the back right there. Let's leave it up, so a little bit up. Parking sensors off, ABC Sport, race suspension, your unlock and lock buttons, which are hydropneumatic, so kind of slow, but ESP. This drops your headrest, and might raise in this car? No, they're not raising this car. This tow mode, your glove box is right here, it's kind of small, and then you also have a pen holder right in here. Passenger seats the same way, you have heated, cooled seats, all that stuff. Both stereo. This is for your map controls as well as your linguistic controls. Over here you have your trunk release, windows, that's your lockout, and then obviously front windows, parking brake is right here, and to release it, just pull that. Turn signals as well as wipers are right there, and you have 3 washer nozzles. So, go on the back seat. This one is a 4-seater model, so I have 4 seats instead of the normal 5. This little storage compartment is kind of useless, but whatever, I kind of like it a little more. There's one of your parking sensor or backup things. And here you just have storage, and then a cup holders right here. And AC vents from the front. You have your wood mirrors as well as lights for them. Wood grab handles, Alcantara headliner, a little speaker right there, as well as a larger one right here. And you have the wood ashtrays back here. Window switch, as well as you have reclining, and keys not in. Can't do that right now, can I? Service records right here, meticulous as usual with these cars. You also have your rear seat climate back here as well. And yeah, that's the back seat of a 600. You also have a storage compartment right here as well. I forgot about that. Oh, and I forgot to mention on this side, I can move the driver's seat forward from the back by pressing one of these buttons. But the key is not in, so it's not going to do that. I'm kind of stupid for not putting the key in, to be honest, but whatever. Let's hop out the 600. This is a power open and close trunk, so it opens. It's a little dirty back there, and then closes. Soft close doors to work on this side, not on the other side though. But you know, AMG wheels are 19 inches. I think we popped the hood, but we'll have to find out. It's not. And with the 600, you get LED lighting as well in the back. So this car has 493 horsepower and 590 pound-feet torque, and it moves. Let's put y'all down for a second. This hood's a little cumbersome to pick up, I'm not gonna lie. And I have just a phone camera, but that's your big V12. Very fun engine. Anyway, let's go into driving this thing. This is currently my daily driver, believe it or not. I daily drive a 600, and financially, I'm regretting it. Oh, I forgot to mention pulse and lumbar right there, so we're massaging seats, they are right there. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to this V12 start up. You know I love to hear that every morning. I'm gonna charge my phone while I do this, just because I am low on power. Push to start obviously doesn't work anymore. I've had 3 Mercedes with push start, and neither of them worked. An E-Class, which I'm gonna review next. This and my old 430. So anyway, also as I mentioned down here, sport and comfort mode, and you have a little storage right there. But my ID is in there. I don't want y'all to see me because I don't do the most legal things in the world. And obviously you have your temperature gauge right there, 31 degrees, and I know I'm low on gas. As usual, this thing absolutely sucks down gas, but we'll give you a little power here. As you can see, it broke tires at least twice. I just dropped my MPG about a fucking 2 gallons right there, but you know, it is what it is. But this thing moves. I mean, if you want to pass somebody, you get a 600. If you want to ride in comfort, you get a 600. If you just want to have an S-Class, you buy a 500 or 430. But, you know, we didn't buy a 500 or 430, bought the damn 600. Oh, we had a 430 originally, but, you know. Unforeseen circumstances led us to having an S600. AKA a Buick fucking LeSabre, man. It's always a Buick LeSabre. But, you know, 0 to 60 in this car is about 4.5 seconds, which is, you know, not bad. It's a little faster than my S-Type R and my XJR. And always looking over that 3-point star, I love that experience. And it just cruises. That's what these cars are made for. You just cruise in this thing, and you know my navigation still works. Like on a straightaway here, I will change the map settings. You know, even sunroof. It's a $220,000 car, brand new. I mean, this was, I think, other than the Maybachs, this is the most expensive main series Mercedes. You know, if we're talking AMG, we're not talking Maybach, we're talking just Mercedes. This is the most expensive one you could buy. It was more than the CLs and the SLs. So the map still works great. Radio still works great. Good bass, good treble. And you know, most people don't know what it is because it is just a 220 S-Class, but certain people do, and those people will tend to respect you a little more. And obviously on the highway, if you want to pass somebody, you just press the gas, and you've all of a sudden moved about half a mile. Top speed on these things in America is only 130 miles an hour. It's pretty easy to get them detuned though. You can get a Rentec tune, you can get a, you know, any kind of tune you want really. It's pretty easy to find tunes for these things. You know, I would upgrade the intercoolers if you live in Texas or Arizona, California, that kind of stuff, but let's make sure there's no feds back there. Get a little gas, so. I did not see that red light, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, brakes weren't great too. But yeah, it's a little bit of power. Not gonna do that again, but you know, get an idea of what this thing got. No idea if the camera's gonna focus on this thing. Also, first record's meticulous. I have receipts or anything like gas in this thing, which is, you know, kind of crazy. And I don't usually drive like that, honestly, in this thing. I've been keeping it fairly, what do you call it? Fairly tame. This is just my cruiser, but, you know, if you gotta pass somebody on the highway, you give them the damn 600. And yeah, I mean, the only step really with 220s you can go up from this thing is a 600, or not 600, a 65, which is this engine they gave to AMG, and they boarded out us, I think that one is a 6 liter. This is just a 5.5 liter biturbo V12. I think that one's a 6 liter biturbo V12. That one's got, you know, I think 500 horsepower and then 6 something pound-feet of torque. And that thing is fast on 65s. But you're paying double. I paid $8,000 for this car. And, you know, I have basically a 65 if I got it tuned. Same engine. I have a V12, which is insane. I mean, you know, the Subaru in front of me right now, that Ford has like a 4-cylinder. This thing has 3 times the engine that thing does, in more ways than one. But, you know, and you're still beating Mustang GTs and shit in this thing. You're just, you know, not beating, like, I don't know, Hellcats. You could, the tune. But this guy in this Subaru keeps moving up next to me. But I mean, yeah, you're mainly going for comfort in this thing. I mean, it just cruises. I saw that R129 earlier. It's a nice car. Just to have one of those that sucked. But I mean, personally, I prefer the pre-facelift interior. But I do prefer the post-facelift. Like, I mean, the button just looked better in the pre-facelift, to be honest. But the post-facelift engine is a lot more reliable, and it's a lot more usable. The pre-facelift had a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter, and then in 03 they changed to the 5.5 liter biturbo. And you know, give it a little power here again. I'm gonna pass the Subaru. You pass the Subaru. And yeah, I mean, it loses traction up to 70 miles an hour. It's a little colder day today, so the tires aren't as warmed up, but even when it's 80 degrees outside in Texas, you're losing traction up to 60 miles an hour. And the thing with these cars is you have to turn ESP off to get the full power experience. I've ridden AMGs, I've driven AMGs. It's the same way. You're getting, you know, when ESP kicks in, you're getting like 1/3 the throttle. And let's see if Distronic does not like these back roads. This car is equipped with it, but let's see if it can lock on. So we'll set it at 60. And watch, I'm gonna get in this Tahoe, start slowing me down because I got within his, like, the radar length. Guess I didn't move up enough. I think I have it set at 150 feet right now, and that's about 150 feet. But it slows down, it speeds up for me. You know, it's a good system. I'd rather enjoy it. The one drawback, of course, of this car is the gas mileage. It is insanely bad. I put in $30 earlier. Went to look at a G35 to flip, and I'm already down to there. I was at half a tank earlier. This thing just sucks down gas. Even with how I usually drive, which I'm driving extremely well for one of these cars. You know, obviously, a little power on video. But I'm getting 19, 20 mpg on the highway. I'm probably getting like 17 on these back roads. But I mean, you know, the power's more there for when you want it, and of course the smoothness of it. More than the fact that it's, you know, powerful. It's more there for the smoothness of it, and then on the highway when you want to pass somebody, you're not really going red light to red light on this thing. It's not meant for that. And for the price, these things are amazing. Of course, they had ABC suspension, which is not the most reliable. No one's arguing that. I've had SLs with ABC, but I also had an S55 that had 296,000 miles when I sold it. ABC without everything was great, and it got better MPG. If you're looking for a little more reliable car, I would go for the S55 because coil packs on this thing are $2,000, and I'm probably gonna do that pretty soon. But you know, it's not bad. I wish I would be able to review my 430 because it had options that this thing doesn't. But you know, it's at IAA right now with T-bone damage. But you know, you are really king of the totem pole for Mercedes with this thing. It'll still probably fucking walk a brand new G63 AMG with its 4-liter, the biturbo. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats a V12. Nothing beats a V12. Yeah, the older engine than the 140 is the one using the Zondas. So, I mean, you have a supercar pedigree with a 4,800-pound luxury car body, and obviously, if you have friends in this thing, everyone loves it. You know, it's a car that they don't get to experience because it is an S-Class at the end of the day. Even if some people hate the 220, personally, it's one of my favorite generations of S-Class. The 221 after it was a lot uglier and had more issues. You know, the 5-liter 220, the 4.3-liter 220, great engines. ABC and aromatic, but all the engines at 220 are great, especially in America. 6-liter, except the early 6-liters, or the early 600s. Those are not good engines, but they don't really exist anymore. And for the price point, I have a thing for $8,000, and I have the same, power as, I'm beating a Mustang GT that just came out a week ago. Just got sent off from the factory, and those probably flashing because it has LEDs in it. Kind of mess up the camera a little bit, but they're great cars. The SAR's amazing. Fuel economy is not great, but if you can afford the maintenance on a V12, I would get it over the 500 or the 430. It's a whole different car, and they're honestly not that unreliable. I've seen them with 150,000 miles is the highest I've seen in person so far, but if you have the money, go for it. It's just a different level of car over the 430 and the 500s. Interior is so much nicer. The engine is so much nicer. The ride is better. They look better. And most of the time, they're better maintained. Because when you have a 430 or 500 or 350, but this third owner, they bought a buy here, pay here a lot. The 600s I've noticed have been mainly 1 or 2 owner cars. First owner, bought it brand new. Second owner bought it after the first owner traded in for a 221 600, and they've kept it since. This is the story with this car. Story with my friend's old S4 S500 Mexican National driven to the airport. That's the only reason that the car. They upgraded to 221, sold that one. And these guys, when I bought this one off, they upgraded to a 222 S63. So obviously, they like their S classes, and I love my S classes too. It's my second one. And I have no plans of going back. I mean, my daily, other than this, is an E-Class. It's an E320, super high option. I'll show you that in a future video. And, they're great cars. Watch this, look at a little power. We're at 60. That's kind of the acceleration point. There, that's 90. Now, I wasn't even full throttle. I was at 25%. I'm not getting full throttle right now just because you saw my MPG. My gas gauge. I was at top of the red, now at the bottom from 4 miles of driving. So anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Kind of rambled on there for the last probably 8 minutes, but it is what it is. And if you have the money, go for it. If you don't, probably don't go for it, man. I don't want to get the money for this thing to really maintain it properly. I do. It's just I'm not trying to drop like $5,000 a year on maintenance. So, but it is what it is. I'm gonna enjoy it. You only live once, so I bought a 600. Anyway, like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.